Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to a special Saturday show. We normally don't do Saturday shows, but since I didn't get to do one Thursday, I thought, what the heck, we might as well do one. Had a few minutes. It's been a crazy week. As you can see, I'm at the house right now, probably wondering what's going on. We'll get into all of that, and I'll get to your questions and comments here shortly. Um, Before we do, though, let's say hi to all the channel members, the Gorilla Gang, the guys that uh, financially subscribe to and support the channel. And looks like we've got 23 of them. We'll start with the very first one that signed up and work our way to the most recent. We've got Ramon, we've got Robbie Ross, Corey Oatley, Midlife Trucker, Red Raider Reloading, Randy's Road Life, Smaller Hauler, Oacer DM, Roger Berry, Armando Perez, No Fear, Ryan Peterson, Delphi Money Click, Racing Ray 28, Lance Calhoun, Bobby RGB, Gary Cook, My Name is Nobody, Trucker Dan, and Tattooed Trucker KC, and rounding out the 23 is Skyhook Trucker. So as you can tell, I'm at home. I wasn't planning on it. I had to come home because my plates, the state that they're out of, issued new ones, and so Scott had overnighted me the new plates. I needed to run by here, pick those up, and had some stuff like that I needed to do. And man, the day just got away, and so I'm still here. I got here Thursday, and then, like I said, Friday I was doing all that stuff, putting the plates on and all that, and so I didn't get out Friday. The loads have just been awful. And last time I was on, I threatened to read some load board rates and let you guys see just how bad it is. And who knows, I may do that tonight. But I've been trying to manage my time and do things that would make best use of my time while I'm here. I am going to Matt's on March 21st, or at least that's the plan right now. I believe it's March 21st. I don't have that stuff in front of me right now. But so I'm getting some business cards printed, stuff like that. I've been working on that this morning. I do have a bid in for a load that I can do after this show tonight, and I'm waiting to see if I get it. But man, the rates are just terrible. And that comes into the part where I need you guys' advice. We've been talking about merchandise and things like that for several months. And so, what kind of things would y'all like to see? And if you don't feel comfortable saying it in here, you can email me at todd@truckertodd.net and let me know, or go to the website, truckertodd.net, and it's got a deal where you can send me a message in there. If you're looking for coffee mugs or t shirts or hats, things like that, let me know. Um, I tried to do everything myself online today and hit a lot of roadblocks. And my brother runs a company that does those type of things, and so I called him, and he and I had a conversation on the phone about what I'm looking for and my needs and things like that. And I sent him an email with some ideas and things, and he's putting together something for me. And so hopefully we'll have some stuff coming out pretty soon. Obviously, I know you guys want ball caps because a lot of people ask me about the hats I wear on the show, things like that. So it's been a pretty good trip. I was able to see my son and grandson this trip, and I was able to have dinner with my uncle and his family last night. So that part of it was good, but I really need to be out working right now. I actually need to work straight from now till the Mid America Truck Show in Louisville, but it just worked out that I'm here. And I'm not going to deadhead 200 miles to pull a load for $1.30 a mile. I'm just not going to do it. And so I know a bunch of loads will drop Monday, and if I don't get this one that I'm bidding on tonight, then I'll probably do something like that. But we can talk about it throughout the show, and And but that's what I need you guys' help on. Tell me what types of merchandise interest you. I know one guy said coffee mugs, and what that'll do is help me know how much to order and things like that. If I don't want to order 6 coffee mugs if 50 people want them, and at the same time, I don't want to order 50 coffee mugs if only one person wants them. And so, same thing with t-shirts. I kind of need to get an idea of what colors and sizes you guys like and things like that. And then I am really getting close to putting those things together and having them on the website where y'all can go on there and get the things that you want. Gary Cook was the first one here today. He's a channel member. He says, I'll be listening. Good deal. And speaking of supporters of the channel, we got a big one right here. Midlife Trucker, who's a channel member, said he was second here today. And my good friend Adam was the third one in here today. And fourth was Ramon, who's also a channel member. Good guy. And Josh McLean says he'll be listening too. Chris Dutro says, Trucker Todd, I'm going to Arizona. I think he meant Trucker Todd. Voice to text on these phones is awful. So um, I don't take it bad when we get a message that doesn't make a lot of sense. I get it. A lot of people are using voice to text. I do it because it's faster than typing. And so sometimes if you get a sentence from me that doesn't make sense, a lot of times, or if I say something offensive, a lot of times I'm using voice to text. And instead of getting mad, just say, hey, Todd, your last message, can you explain that a little better? But yeah, I've sent some doozies over the year because I would just say it and send it without rereading it and making sure it was right. And now I try to read them all before I put them out. And I wore the Case IH hat again. I got a lot of compliments about it, and a lot of people really liked it. So I thought, oh, I'll give it another spin tonight. Sorry for the top bear time headed to Arizona. So I think he meant, sorry for the typo, headed to Arizona. So that's cool, man. I'm just glad you're here listening in. And Brian Walton says the Cowboys need a new nose tackle. That's what's wrong with the Cowboys. What's your opinion, Todd? Yeah, I saw a news story on that earlier today that they're trying to acquire a nose tackle. You guys know what my opinion is on that. The biggest problem with the Cowboys is the owner. Jerry Jones is, we need to acquire a new owner for the Cowboys. And I think that would fix a lot of their problems. Now, he did do something that was a step in the right direction. He has brought Jimmy Johnson back in an advisory position. So Jimmy Johnson is going to be offering him advice. Those two go way back. Jimmy Johnson was a head coach for the Cowboys. They played together in Arkansas back in the college days, and they've been really good friends. Then they had a falling out recently. Jimmy Johnson got into the Cowboys Ring of Honor, but Jerry Jones is pretty set in his ways, and he doesn't take advice or things like that very well. So, and Jimmy Johnson, I'm in the middle of his book right now, and I can't even think of the name of it right now. Swagger is the name of Jimmy Johnson's book. And the opinion I get of Jimmy Johnson from that book is it's pretty much his way or the highway. So when you got two guys like that it's their way or the highway, I'm not sure how long that advisory position's going to last. Red Raider Reloading channel member, I'll be listening from Amarillo. I've got 10 stops and a backhaul. Wow, you've got a full day ahead of you. I've got a bid on a load right now that'll put me going through Amarillo. So you never know. We may cross paths later tonight. And Michael says, good evening. Good evening, sir. Thank you for being here. Fitzroy Jones says he's Fitzroy Jones of Swift. All righty, glad you're in here. Brian Walton says he would like ball caps. All right, I will. That will definitely be on the deal. I think ball caps pretty much have to be on there because um, everybody always comments about the hats I wear. Bowling in Alaska. Hi, Todd. Hello, sir. Thank you for being here. Brian Walton says I'm staying out for the next 2 months. Yeah. Like I said, I'd like to stay out through Matt's. It's really expensive for me to go, and there's about a 90% chance I'll be there unless something comes up. But you know, a lot of it's up in the air. It depends on. I got to make some money between now and then because it's expensive to go park for 3 or 4 days and um, eat inside the facilities and all of that. So usually I get a hotel. This year I'm not getting a hotel. I'm just going to stay in the truck park and try to save a little money that way. P.U. Patel says shirts. Bowling in Alaska says hats. So definitely everybody wants shirts and hats. Has anybody got color preferences? Me personally, I try to stay away from light colors because they show stains more. So I'm thinking darker shirts like black or red or dark blue, things like that. What are your thoughts on that? Gary Cook, channel member. I took a load from Dallas, Texas to Joliet, Illinois, $1.50 a mile. I took it to get to a better area. Plus, I'm near home. I can drop on Sunday anytime. Yeah, we've all done it to get to a better area, and that's what I'll do Monday if I have to. But man, it's just discouraging when you get on there. I took one to Texas one time for $1.58, or maybe it wasn't to Texas, to somewhere for $1.58 a mile to get into a better location. So we've all done it, but it's just, man, what's discouraging me more than anything is watching these guys that don't know how to negotiate. And you'll put a bid for $3,000 and they'll come back and hit it at 1,500, not 28, not 29. They'll drop all the way down to 1,500. And the problem with that is the next time that load comes up and you call in about it, the broker's going to say, well, the last guy hauled it for this price. And so it just drags us all down. But on DAT especially, it gives you a 30-day average. And all of these brokers are hitting like $500 under the 30-day average. And so, man, it's just tough right now. Ramon says, channel member, by the way, says T-shirts 3X is his size. All right. Yeah. You know, it's funny. You go to these big trucking companies, like when I work at Swift, and you'd go in their store to see what kind of shirts they had. And it would all be like extra large or 2X. And it's like, where's the trucker sizes? We need 3X. We need 4X. There's not a lot of medium and small truck drivers running around. Hey, here's a creative one. Michael says pullovers with hoods. Brian Walton says dark blue for me. Great. I will definitely have blue in the mix, blue and black. I just think for a truck driver, dark colors work better. I know a lot of people like white shirts and stuff, but man, they just show dirt and stains so bad. Dr. Phillips is here. Is there a doctor in the house? He just got the notification. Glad to have you, sir. Brian Walton says dark blue for me. Ramon says he likes black, blue, and gray. All right. What we might have to do in the beginning too is we might have to have a little bit of lag time there so that I don't have to keep a large amount of inventory. I'm working all that stuff out now. I think initially my brother's company is going to be handling most of that, but we're still putting it together. But this kind of gives me an idea of which direction y'all would like to see things go. Brian Walton, or go for whatever the broker offers to give you. Yeah, that's I think it goes without saying that whatever the broker's offering you, that rate is not a rate that they've calculated in your best interest. They're doing the same thing that you're trying to do. So the broker's job is, say they bid 2,500 on a load. Their job is to give you as little as that 20 of that 2,500 as they can, so they make money. So if they bid 2,500 on it, they might start at 1,500, and if they can find a guy that'll haul it for 1,500, then that's $1,000 profit for them. Most of the agents you talk to get like a 25 or 30% commission. So if they net 1,000 on that load, they're getting $200 or $300 off of that load for just a few minutes worth of work. So and bugging you every day, seeing where you're at and when you're going to deliver and all that. But so their job is to get you as cheap as they can. And so from a broker standpoint, if I'm saying, hey, I'll pull that $2,500 load for 2,300, and somebody else is saying, well, I'll do it for 1,500, of course they're going to do it for the 1,500 because it's going to save them a lot of money. Now, are there some exceptions to that? Yeah. If it's high value stuff and they want somebody on it they can trust, or if it's a customer that they're on kind of shaky ground with, they may want one of their top dogs pulling it. But most of your click and go broker freight, they're just looking for the cheapest man that'll do the work, the guy that'll do it for the least amount of money. And I don't recommend ever, not ever, just taking whatever they offer you. Always try to bid them up $200 or $300, and they may say no, but it doesn't hurt to ask. You know, I usually say it something like this. I say, man, I really want to do that load, but I was needing to get a little more. Do you have any wiggle room at all? And usually they'll say, uh, well, what are you looking for? And depending on the tone of their voice, I might suggest $500 more than what they say. I might suggest $200 more than what they say. And they say, oh, they'll always say the same thing. Oh, I ain't got that much in it. I understand, but could you help me out a little? Could we meet in the middle somewhere? And oftentimes you can get them to come up $100 to $300. And you say, well, that's not that much money. Well, it is when you do several loads a week. And basically, you're getting a couple of $100 for just asking a question. So I think a lot of people are afraid to ask, but it's all how you do it. It's all your tone of voice, your attitude, your level of friendliness, things like that. So Dr. Phillips says, I'm a specialist in giving advice. What do you need help with? We're working on the merchandise stuff today, and I'm asking suggestions about what type of merchandise you'd like to see. We've had a lot of people say hats, a few people say pullover hoodies, and several people say shirts. We talked about colors, things like that, sizes. And so if you've got any advice about merchandise, things you'd like to see, let me know. I'm trying to figure all that stuff out right now. Get them in PPE colors, and a lot of shippers and receivers want to have them on just to be on the property anymore. That's actually great advice. I'm not sure, because here's what I have to do when I do this, and it's not a get rich thing. Trust me. You end up making hopefully $2 or $3 on something, but there's the cost to manufacture, there's cost of shipping, things like that. And so I have to make sure that I can get everything done to where I'm going, oh yeah, I can sell you, a PPE jacket, but it's $50 and you can buy them at Love's for 30. You see what I mean? I have to be kind of price competitive, if that makes any sense. But if I can do it at a at a reasonable price, then I'll definitely try to put something together. Maybe even like gloves and stuff would be cool to have. Gary Cook, channel member, says he would like a Trucker Todd punching bag. Well, I think that would be a number one seller. So that or a Trucker Todd dartboard. I think a lot of people would enjoy that. Since a lot of people say my voice puts them to sleep, how about a Trucker Todd pillow or Trucker Todd pillowcase or Trucker Todd bed sheets? All of those things are in the realm of possibilities. But that's pretty funny. Thanks for that, Gary. Adam says he'll be the oddball. Red for me. Well, see, the Southern guy in me says, how about some camouflage? I think camouflage would be pretty good. P.U. Patel, Trucker Todd bobbleheads. Yeah, you're actually like the third guy that has said they wanted that. But do you really want a bobblehead of me on your dash while you're going down the road? Maybe people do. Bumper stickers. Yeah, we almost did that about a year ago. And that's probably going to be coming to fruition pretty quick because my brother he can knock out like 30 something of them on a sheet for nothing. Well, not nothing, but very, very cheap. And so that's definitely something that'll be coming along. Dr. Phillips thinks I should buy 10 hats and 15 shirts to start. Well, what I'm trying to do on the hats is I'm trying to get maybe 10 to 12 hats made up and maybe give them away at Matt's or something like that. I'm getting 500 business cards printed. And so I'll definitely have some business cards to give away. For example, my uncle is a Lyft driver, or no, he's an Uber driver. I'm sorry. And he's asked for some cards in the past so that he could pass out to his truck driver passengers. And so I'll be giving him some cards here pretty soon. Donald says only Wally World drivers can wear white shirts. Yeah, because the good guys wear white, so Walmart drivers are the good guys, I guess. Yeah, and they don't do any. I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this. They don't do any manual labor, and I mean that as a compliment. They pull up at the stores, and stores unload them and everything. Treat them like royalty. So good for them. Kevin Snipes, good evening, Todd. I like the hat. I'll be listening. Well, thank you, sir. I'm glad you're here tonight. I seen an old video you years okay about D&E transport. Are you sure it was me? I don't think I've ever made a video about D&E transport because I don't know much about them, to be honest. But are you sure it was a video I did? Brian Walton, like a C.H. Robinson, always calling you, wanting to know where you are. They kept calling me every hour on the hour. Well, the guy that I work with at C.H. Robinson, as long as you get on their app and they can track you through there, he does not bother me. He just says, hey, if tracking's not working, give me a call. So I haven't had any problems with C.H. Robinson, but there's another carrier that will remain nameless, that their initials, that they'll call me 4 or 5 times in the morning before noon. Hey, we're just getting a status update. And I'll say, oh, okay, no problem. Is the app not working? Oh, it's working. We just didn't check it. And I always have to bite my tongue because I'm like, why do you have me download all this crap that's killing my phone battery if you're not even going to check it, and they'll say stupid stuff. Like one of them said, well, just make sure after you're loaded that you verify your seal number, that your doors are shut good. And I'm like, I really had to bite my tongue. It's like, I know how to do my job. Do I tell them when they come into work in the morning, make sure their computer's plugged in? I mean, come on. Uh, oh, yeah. Here we go. Ramon would like a Trucker Todd calendar. Ramon is a channel member, by the way. Yeah. The problem we're having with the Trucker Todd calendar, especially if we do a swimsuit edition, is some of the like men's health magazines and the bodybuilder magazines are really giving me a lot of pushback about having my six-pack abs and my uh, shredded chest and my 24-inch biceps on a calendar. They just don't think it's fair to professional male models. But what we could do is maybe put a calendar together that I take pictures of stuff around the country, pretty things I see, and we put that in the calendar. That's something that I never thought of till just now, Ramon, and we might could put something like that together. Michael says, yeah, you were working at Roadrunner. They used to own D&E back in the day. I'd have to go back and look. What did I say about them? Gary Cook, channel member. Anyone had problems with their cell phone service? AT&T had an outage. Yeah, I think pretty much everybody did. Mine, I was in Odessa at the time, and mine kept working, but it dropped down to AT&T. My wife's went out. She sent me a message on Facebook Messenger off of the house Wi-Fi, and of course, I think everybody knows I also have a Verizon phone and a T-Mobile phone and an AT&T phone. So that way I've got signal pretty much anywhere. And if one of the services go down, then I've still got a ability to do what I need to do. But yeah, it was down for several hours. I personally believe it was a cyber attack. I believe China's been threatening to do something like this for a while. And the government and AT&T are all pretty tight-lipped about what happened. But yeah, it was a real pickle, a real mess for a little bit. Red Raider Reloading, channel member, Lot Lizard Calendar Girl. Yeah, that wouldn't be bad, except, you know, if Red Raider came to my house right now and said, Todd, I want a lot lizard. I'll give you $5,000 if you can find me a lot lizard. I wouldn't know where to look. I just, you know, I try to stay at safe truck stops and things like that. So I probably wouldn't be the best. I'm out of touch on some things. I probably wouldn't be the best resource for lot lizard or drugs or things like that. I just don't run in those circles. Red Raider Reloading, channel member, getting a laugh out of that. Let's see, Brian Walton. Yes, Gary, and all they said was sorry. Yeah, they were a little quiet about it. Normally they'd say, well, we had a tower that, you know, shorted out or something. We had to replace some antennas, or we're upgrading our network is one they like to use. But they were like, oops, sorry, my bad. It's working now. Ramon, it's not a 6-pack, it's a 24. Yeah, this is the full keg right here. This is or maybe the 55-gallon drum, but yeah, it's I don't think we'll see me modeling in any calendars, but you know, I could do some cool sunsets. I've got some pictures I took out in Utah and in Colorado that are pretty cool. I could probably put something together. If the company was bigger, you know, I work for a small company, SRO Logistics. By the way, if you have a truck and you'd like to come to work with me over here, like to lease on over here, look at the email down in the ticker. It's safety@srologistics.com, and email Scott and he'll answer all your questions. But, you know, if we had 15 or 20 trucks here, I might could get some pictures and put a calendar together, but it's really hard when you've got, less than a half dozen trucks to choose from. Michael says, "Not me. Don't use AT&T. Use T-Mobile." Yeah, like I said, I have all three. By far, Verizon's the worst as far as data speeds and stuff like that. T-Mobile and AT&T, it kind of depends where you're at in the country and time of day and stuff like that. There are times T-Mobile's a little better than AT&T, and there's time most of the time AT&T is the overall winner. So, if you pinned me down and said you got to get rid of two of your cell phone companies, AT&T would be the one left standing. I think AT&T should give a break in the bill. They probably will if you call them, but the problem is it's going to be. It was only down for a part of a day, so you're looking at most 1/30th of your bill. So I mean, if you got $15 or $20, you'd probably be pushing it. Now AT&T this month overcharged me. Actually, they did it back in November. Back in November, AT&T overcharged me $970 something, and I've been fighting with them since November trying to get that money back. And a couple of days ago, they gave me that money back. So better late than never. But it's one of those deals that 99% of the time they're great. So, and they have really good trade-in deals on phones and stuff. So even when I get really mad at them, sometimes I just have to bite my tongue and live with it. P.U. Patel says he gets his lot lizards at exit 470 in Dallas or Memphis. I'm joking. He didn't say he gets his there. He's telling me that's where they're at. Well, I've gone to that pilot a few times to get Wendy's, or back when I was at different companies with fuel cards that went to Pilot Flying J a lot. I've stopped there for fuel, and I'm sure they're around there. I just don't see them. I guess the time of days I'm going through, but I bet if I spent the night there, I'd probably see one. It just, man, the people that are walking around there are rough looking. It's not anybody that I'd want in my truck for any reason, especially that. Michael says the bad thing about a lot lizard chandelier is seeing a pic of your mom on it. There you go. Ramon says Salinas, California, Flying J back in 2014. Good looking lot lizard. Yeah, but a lot's changed since 2014. They've started doing that human trafficking thing, and they've really cleaned a lot of it up. I mean, I'm sure, I said I couldn't find one. I'm sure if I went to Las Vegas and walked the strip or something like that, I could find one. But um, I don't run in those circles. Same thing if you came to me and said, Todd, I'd like some cocaine tonight. I don't know where to send you. Now, if you said I want marijuana, I could probably Google dispensaries and find you a dispensary somewhere. But I'm pretty much clean living now. I got some beer in the refrigerator, but it's been in there forever. I never get time to drink it. Dr. Phillips says, how many trucks are leased to SRO? That is a great question. I believe there's a total of 4 right now. But don't quote me on that. I don't know any other drivers there right now. It's just because we're all spot market doing our own thing, so we run different areas. The only one I do know there is Scott, the owner of him and his wife are the owner of SRO Logistics, and so I guess technically his truck is leased on to SRO Logistics, but he's the only driver that I know there currently. I say that I know another driver there through email and stuff, but we've never talked on the phone or met in person. I, trucking with the fly rabbit. I know why he wants this. He says make a calendar with your viewers' trucks. So if I did that, I'd have to probably put Fly Rabbit's truck at January or something. He's got a really nice truck that he created his own logo on the side of the truck. I did film a video on his previous truck or a couple of trucks ago when we were in Greer where they put on the decals and everything. But he told me since then he's modified the logo a little bit, and he does have a pretty truck. If I made a calendar of viewer trucks, I would definitely talk to him about getting permission to use his truck in the calendar. That's actually not a bad idea. I could have everybody submit truck pictures to my email, and then I could pick out the 12 best ones and randomly put them in a calendar. That's something. That's a great idea, Fly Rabbit. That's something that I'll give some thought to. Dr. Phillips says, can he recommend prescription pills? As a doctor, I think you can prescribe them, can't you? Michael, I thought Tim was there working with SRO. Um, Tim's not here tonight, so I'll let him answer questions about what he's doing or where he's working, things like that. Um, I haven't had a discussion with him where um, I asked him if I had permission to talk about his employment or anything like that. And as you guys know, a personal rule I have on myself on the channel is that I don't discuss people without their permission. And I'm sure he wouldn't mind, but I just, for my own personal rule, I prefer to have somebody's permission. I can tell you, I do feel comfortable saying this, that there's no there there. In other words, there's not some big secret that would be embarrassing to him or to SRO Logistics, in my opinion, if it came out. It's just I'd prefer that each individual person um, handles details about things like that. So hopefully he'll be in here again soon. I know he's working really hard right now, working a lot, but hopefully he'll be back in here soon, and we'll see what he wants to say about it or does not want to say about it. All righty. We are at the 39-minute mark. The comments have kind of slowed down. So I'm going to take this opportunity to remind everybody, give me a thumbs up, share this video on your social media platforms, and make sure you are subscribed. Also, click on the title of this video and it'll drop down a lot of other great information about the channel. Many of the questions you might have for me can be answered in that description. And so, real important. Hope you guys will do that. In the ticker below the screen's a lot of other great information. Check out the website, truckertodd.net, or you can email me at todd@truckertodd.net. And all the social medias are in the description, everything. Also, you've heard me mention channel member 100 times tonight. If you're wondering what a channel member is or how to become one, click on the join button at the bottom of your screen and it'll have that information there too. There's two different tier levels to choose from, and they start as low as $5 a month or $4.99, I think it is. Channel member Ramon, where is Tim? He's always here. Yeah, on the weekends, it's real hard to get him. He's usually home on the weekends, and he spends time with his girl, and so you can't blame him for that. So if this were a Tuesday or Thursday and there was any way he could, I'm sure he'd be here, but weekends are tough. And that's why we don't have a big crowd tonight. We've got 25 watching right now, and I kind of expected that on the weekend. A lot of people will watch this video on the replay either Sunday or Monday. And so either way, glad that they all take the time to listen. Michael says he's on Snorlord's channel a lot. Yeah, he is. He watches both of us, and I like Snorlord. I've met him personally, and he has a real good channel, a lot of great information. And so, yeah, that is true. Um, he does frequent both of our channels quite a bit. Red Raider Reloading channel member. I got 11 stops done. Headed back to Lubbock. Wow, you got done a lot quicker than I was expecting. Todd, have you ever? This is Ramon, channel member. Todd, have you ever been to Astoria, Oregon? I am not sure. I'll be totally honest with you. I would say, as long as I've been driving, I probably have, but it's not a town that sticks out in my memory. What's going on in Astoria, Oregon? I'm going to take that down so y'all can see the website while people are typing. I'm going to get a bite of ice while y'all type, and we'll jump back in hopefully here in a second. Red Raider Reloading channel member. 4 of them were in Lubbock. Started at noon. Yeah, but it's not even 5 o'clock yet, and it's a 2-hour drive to Amarillo. So you add 2 hours to noon, and that puts you at 2. And then you basically did 11 stops in less than 3 hours. You man, that's pretty good. You was Ramon, channel member, says he went to Astoria, Oregon once, and it was a nice place. With this company, I'm not allowed to go to Oregon, but I like that whole Northwest. I think it's real nice and pretty up there. But my favorite place to go, and the place I'd like to go for a vacation if I could, is Moab, Utah. I would love to take my pickup there and spend a couple of weeks. Michael says the filming of Goonies 2. Goonies 2 was filmed in Astoria, Oregon. Is that what you're saying, Michael? Red Raider Reloading channel member says 1 to 3 pallets per store. Yeah, and the one thing I like about what you're doing is, for the most part, when you pull up at those stores, they don't play around. They get you in and out. My time there, for the most part, they treated me really well and got me in and out. Ramon, channel member, says 2 movies were filmed there, The Goonies. Oh, okay. I did not know that. And come to think about it, I don't know if I've ever seen the Goonies movie. Is it a must watch? Is it something I need to see? Hey, we got YouTube royalty here tonight. DIY Semis here saying howdy. DIY, I heard it was your birthday the other day. Happy belated birthday. Um, I saw your video on with Cash, but it was after the fact, so I didn't get to comment. But happy birthday to you, man. I hope you had a good one. Michael says first one was they never did a second one. Oh, then I'm confused. Why did you put the filming of Goonies 2? Oh, you meant 2 like TOO, like also. DIY Semi says thanks. Hey, DIY, while I got you here, I got a question for you. I asked this a couple of weeks ago, but you'll know the answer. So on my Freightliner, it's sucking fuel out of the left side tank substantially faster than it does the right tank. Like I can run the left tank out. The only fix for it is either to put more fuel in the left tank or if I pull over and turn it off for anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes, it'll equalize the fuel out and then I can go again. The lines on the passenger tank have been blown out and gone through. Do you have any suggestions for what else I might check or look for on that? DIY says the vent is likely clogged. Okay, I just need to get under there and figure out where that vent is. Thank you for that. I'll look into that. Yeah, but that would make sense. It must be like partially clogged because if you park it for 15 to 20 minutes, it'll equal out and you can go again, but it gets scary sometimes. DIY Semi says leave the fuel cap slightly loose on the one that stays full. Well, the problem with that is it's got lock-in gas caps, and you can't remove the key if you don't crank the gas cap down all the way. Like it won't. I don't think you can leave it unlocked unless you leave a key in it. And Michael says replace the cross module. All right, I'll find out about that too. Blues Trucker, did you hear that Stallone is making a sequel to the Trucker movie Over the Top? I hadn't heard that, but I like most Stallone movies, so I think I'd be game for that. Ramon, channel member, says they have a really long and high bridge from Oregon to Washington State. Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah, the DIY semi says, okay, cleaning the vent hose is pretty easy. Yeah, the vent hoses have been done, but if there's an actual vent, that may be what I need to do is clean it. And it might be, if it becomes a problem, maybe I do leave the gas cap loose on that side or see if I can find that vent and clean it out. Most of the time, it's not a huge problem. By the time it runs down that left tank, I need to get diesel or go to the bathroom or do something anyway. So I just pull over and turn it off for 15 or 20 minutes, and then I'm good to go again. But I'm kind of weird. I'm one of those guys that I like everything to work the way it's supposed to. You know, it's one of those deals. I'm not going to shut myself down in a shop because it's not a DOT violation or nothing. But it's just I'd like my gas gauge to work correctly and things like that. Michael says mint crossover. Sorry about that. Yeah, somebody was telling me that, and they weren't sure either. So don't shoot the messenger or the guy that said it. They were saying that their understanding of truck fuel systems is that all trucks suck from the passenger side, and then it goes to the engine and returns to the passenger side. Did I say that right? Starts on the driver's side, goes up to the engine, returns to the passenger side, and then crosses over to the driver's side again. I don't know if that's true or not. I'll be the first to tell you that I don't know everything there is to know about how fuel systems on a truck work. I have the general basics, and that's about it. Channel member Ramon says, hey, Todd, you have a good night. Be safe getting ready for the car show tonight. Oh, yeah, that'll be fun. I love going to car shows. Have fun out there, man. Be careful. Blues Trucker, it's called Over the Top Part 2 Bad Lease Purchase. He lost his truck he won in the first movie and goes into a lease with super ego. After he figures out they are robbing him, he drives the truck through. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, he actually when he realizes what he did at super ego, he turns into Rambo and of course chaos ensues. Great movie idea, Blues. DIY Semi says that's not true. Yeah, I didn't think it was, but I don't know how they work. I always thought they kind of suck from both tanks and they kind of return to both tanks, but maybe they don't. I don't know. I know on really old trucks, like in the 70s, it had a switch and you could switch from the left tank to the right tank. And I know they don't. Uh, that was a long time ago before most of the people in this room were driving. But yeah, I it's just one of those deals in my spare time. It's a mystery I'd like to solve, and I'm gonna do like you said. I'm gonna Google about where the vent would be on that truck and see if I can go clean the vent and fix it. So Sylvester Stallone drives his truck through the terminal. Oh man, it. We're joking about that, but you wonder right now the way things are. I'm sure people are getting frustrated, and I've got mixed emotions about it. I hate to see anybody taken advantage of, but at the same time, theoretically, these guys read their contract and agreed to do this. So, um, part of me thinks, yeah, super ego's taking advantage of them, and part of me thinks, well, they're not. They're fulfilling an agreement they made amongst themselves. Both parties were adults and just need to let it play out. But I would think anybody in this room or anybody with a CDL could do 10 or 15 minutes worth of research and find out real quick that Super Ego is probably not the place you want to work. Let's see. Bowling in Alaska. Todd, when was the last time you went bowling? It's been a while. Been a while. I went with my son, my youngest son, but it's been, man, many years ago. Just I'm not very good at it, but I like trying. Mainly, you just go for the socializing, for the fun of it. Gary Cook, channel member, your APU sucks fuel off your passenger side tank. Well, that's the problem. The engine's not sucking any off the passenger side. So I, uh, I mean, I get to where my left tank is empty, and my right tank is still over half full. Now, if I sit there for 10 or 15 minutes with the engine off, it'll equalize out, and then I'm fine again. But so with the APU sucking off the passenger side, that's fine because uh, first of all, the APU is not running while the truck's running, and secondly, that tank's not getting ran down like the driver's tank is. Michael says the return back to both tanks at 190 degrees. Yep, that's why your diesel don't freeze when you're in cold weather because it's getting warm diesel sent back to it. I understand the heating part of the diesel. I just don't. I don't know how the return lines work and all of that. But what DIY said about there being some type of vent, that makes a lot of sense as the next thing to check since the hoses have already been blown out. But that Freightliner's been pretty solid. It's been a good truck. All right, I'm gonna pull that comment. There's the website again. If y'all got anything else you want to throw up there, throw it up there. The business cards I'm getting done are really cool. I think y'all will like them. We're gonna have some perks worked in there too. When y'all buy merchandise, there'll be some added bonuses that go with it. So you'll definitely want to hang around, make sure you're subscribed for that stuff as well. All right, we're at 56 minutes. I'm probably going to step out of here pretty quick just in case I get that load that I bid on. I'm not real optimistic, but we'll see. Alrighty, I'm going to take off. This is going to end up being one of the shortest videos we've ever done. Hope you guys have a great weekend. We'll catch you on the next one. Y'all take care. Good night.